Hello everybody and welcome to this fourth Saturday garden update for June. Here we are looking into the aviary. It's a little bit empty in the aviary because I've done some work. I've taken out these flower boxes because they were just growing nothing but weeds. So I've reused them, and all of the soil, there was a load of soil in there. I have reclaimed that and used it for other things. I'll show you where. In the aviary, all the geraniums are really looking beautiful. Nice. June is a really good month for them. On the desk there's not much apart from these few maples and these deceased pepper plants. Some of them were the boss plants from last year, you can see there. These have let go of their struggle to stay alive. There's more maples. These maples nearly died, in fact I think they have died, but I've put them in moist breathable boxes here with these plastics, so hopefully I'll get a few of them back. But we just had a very dry, hot, dry May, June. It's really taken it out of a lot of plants, but no worry. I have 6 boxes of cuttings here. You can see in there, there's all that, and there's some sedums I think in this one. If it'll focus, there you go, there's more sedums in there. You can in fact see them through the box, and various others. And even, yes, those boxes have got more cuttings, which I think have taken. Coming out of the aviary, yeah, this buddleia has definitely died. You can see the root from it has also started peeling bark, so I'm going to plant a new one here, probably for next year. One of my 2-year-old cuttings. This buddleia looking fine as ever. That needs trimming back. This is where I'll put the other buddleia from early 2021, I think in January 21, in that spring. Those buddleia cuttings, I've still got them. They're 2 years old. I'm going to plant those here. Here's the pepper desk with some tomatoes on the edge here. I've watered all of these, so these should, that looks a bit wilty, but I put loads of water in there. That'll come back in an hour or so. All of these peppers, these are all mixes of bell, jalapeno and Ramiro's. Not individually, but they're all hybrids in one way or another, self-pollinated hybrids. So I don't know what they are until they send out fruits. When their fruits are mature, you see that one I think is a purple jalapeno. That had darker leaves. But I have to wait and see just to be sure even of that, because it could have crossed with one of my others. And in the greenhouse even more. Peppers. These young peppers for this year were all hanging here in that flower pot down there on the floor now, which I've taken them out of, all potted up. So yes, in my last couple of videos it was hanging here. That's the change. Peppers, these are all the boss plants and some younger hybrids and secondaries over there. So those are all still hanging on. This one here is the bell chili hybrid, which is called Thunder I think. And there's some of the fruits. They don't look like bell peppers, they look like the jalapeno more, but when they are fully mature they do look like a good hybrid. These are the yellow chilies, lots of flowers. They're doing really well already. Look at the size of them. All overwintered. They were in the house. These all had leaf scorch in April, but I've taken the roof off of this greenhouse and they're doing all right out here now. I had these in the aviary I think in the last couple of updates where they recovered in the dappled sunlight, but now they are more than happy. I've fed them comfrey and they've just exploded to life. The only one I was a bit worried about was this one here, through here. See this with the slightly yellow, I mean I don't know if it's sending out buds, but 1A RRC21 I think it says. That's one of the boss plants from 2 years ago. But yes, I've got one of its offspring over this side, crossed with an orange bell, so all is not lost. There's all sorts of hybrids and variants of them. Their DNA I think is safe forever. Here's all the fuchsias. These were on the floor in the last video. I've potted them on, and these are just growing like mad. Lovely colours. Hydrangea there, that's sending out lots of new growth from the bottom. And in the corner, all these hebes, spirea, And there's that cutting I took early last year. All growing like anything. Even more pepper plants, bells and Ramiros, and mild jalapeno here from, you can see these in my 21 and 22 videos. You can look in my old videos, see if you can find them, but they're all still here, these ones. On the floor I've got just plastic, but over here I've created like a hospital area for plants that are not overwatered, but plants that are sort of burned in the sun. This bubble wrap allows me to control the amount of water, so what I'm doing is I'm not watering these so much. I do with some of them, like this one, but the plant that's down there, there is the Acer cutting. I've moved him here because I think I was watering it too much. I thought these crisping leaves it needed water, but water is usually when they wilt, and it wasn't fixing it. So I think it just needs less light, less strong sunlight. So I've put him in there, and I've put all of these plants in front of it. So this plant that's died still offers really good shade, and here's the wisteria forest. That is really good as well. That'll shade all those sick plants. Outside we've got the runner beans. Those are all the way up to the top now, mostly red flowers with some whites in there as well for variety, all looking really nice. The white imagos, the red ones are Scarlet Emperor and Enorma, and some might be hybrids of the two from last year where the bees crossed them, some of them. But I think most of them just selfed, so I've got more of the same. Here are some sunflowers and some plants from work that all didn't make it, which I can use the soil. I've put wood beams in here so I can actually use this for my potted plants to sit on. That's where the grow box has gone, reclaimed, and all the soil has gone over here. But these are the maples that were doing better, so they didn't die at first. And that one at the back is the best performing new seedling, so that is really doing well. These are all the oak trees. I've put them all out here. They get shade in the morning as well, so it's a good time to water them. But this is them now. Obviously this will turn into a forest in probably just by the end of the summer even. There is the honeysuckle, the yellow and white, which is from over here, and I think they've even reached over to this shrub honeysuckle, which is barely recognizable under there. Here is the garden, aka the jungle. The cornflowers have more or less gone over. Even though I mowed a lot of this flat, it just comes back. The buddleias, all the white buddleia, the purple ones, the smoke bush, they're all doing all right. Yes, the hydrangea there, it's getting ready to send out flowers. I've given that lots of comfrey as well, lots of feed. Here's a geranium looking fabulous. Here's my dad's maple and the spirea, looking happy as ever. I've given them fertilizer as well as these. Here we are. I was thinking of using this plant here as a hospital plant, so I could put it in front where there's a gap there and just use it to shade others, but I haven't got any more sick plants, so I'll just leave it here for now. Let's have a look indoors at the house plants. Here's the jade plants. I put some comfrey on these, and I'm swearing the last couple of days they've jumped out of the soil, but these should really take off soon. Here's a cutting. I took this from the front of the window. Originally it was from this plant and then it was in the kitchen, but I've moved it here as it was getting a bit too much light. It's gone a little greener now, and it's even sent out a flower, so I think that was a good move. This plant looks okay. I've been keeping an eye on it. The epiphyllums, the 4 epiphyllums that I had on the lounge window have now moved out here. They've each sent out a leaf or two. You can see I took them as cuttings on that date, November last year, and they've sent out these. They were in the little pots originally, but now they're in here. And they've got all this room to grow. They should grow into big plants, probably in a couple of years. Here's this house plant that I rescued from work. It was getting a bit too much sun outside, but here it just gets a little bit of sun and it should do a lot better. So we'll see if this recovers for us. Let's look in the lounge and the kitchen. Here's the original epiphyllum parent plant with this huge great big leaf in a bigger pot, doing nicely. And I potted up these jade plants into bigger pots, so these should all grow really nice. And here are these last few plants on the kitchen. This is the one I don't know, mystery one on the left, but this one is the jade, the original jade I took cuttings from. And this is the anthurium with its crispy leaves. This damage is historical. This has been like it for a long time, but it hasn't actually got any worse. Those leaves on that side are a little bit burnt, but that's been in the full sun and it's only that much burnt, so this must have a very strong root system now. I've certainly given it plenty of water and it looks like it has, because it's also sending out all of this new growth in the centre, so this does look very healthy. But I'll keep an eye on it anyway, as I do with all of them. And that's the June update, everybody, and thank you for watching.